Good morning, Raiders. My name is Isaac Ebling, and welcome to the final episode of The Ekko. Today's date is Friday, June 2nd, 2023, and as I'm sure we can all feel, it's a senior's last day in the building. Seniors, we made it. It feels like we just started, and now we're here. As all things have a beginning and an end, The Ekko does too, and we're here today to give this show the proper ending. As we get real close to summer break, let's take a look back at what has happened this school year and what's to come next year as well. Here's Max Albertson with the story.
Hastings High School is a place where many come to grow and learn. Not only do students change after attending, but the building changes with them.
The building's about 22 years old, and even though it looks brand new from kind of first glance, we're noticing some wear and tear, and just we need to do those things to make sure this building is going to last and look as pristine as it does for the years to come.
Mr. Doran, head principal at HHS, has worked hard to make our school the best it can be.
Change is a constant. It really is, and that's just public education.
He believes that change is good.
I was taught early and often that we're okay where we're at, but we're not okay staying there for very long.
The school's comfortability is our principal's number one priority.
As you probably noticed, all the pod furniture outside of the classrooms kind of provide that atmosphere for students really to just be able to relax and congregate and have those kind of outside of the classroom experiences. As you noticed, classrooms got new carpet, those pod areas got new carpet, and that's going to continue into this summer. As we go through the next year or two or three, commons area needs new carpet, our hallways, we've had new lighting installed, our fire suppression system is brand new. We've got two systems kind of overlapping that we're just upgrading a lot of areas of the building.
The school's interior has changed with more than just furnishing. HHS has also accepted a new member into its family this year.
My husband makes fun of me, but I always say how excited I am to come to work. I haven't had that in a really long time.
Mrs. Tavernier is now finishing up her first year here at HHS and makes it clear that she's so happy to be here.
My favorite part about being an assistant principal is just the relationships that I get to make with so many different people.
As she grows here as a new faculty member, she gets to watch us grow as well.
What's going to be fun for me is I got to see kids as kindergartners, and now I get to see the students that have been working so hard this year here at Hastings and what they accomplish, and it's really fun to celebrate that success.
Seeing change is something we can all look forward to.
I make sure all teachers have a voice in this as well as students. We've got a few new classes starting next year. There's a wildlife biology class, a new STEM class, an honors algebra class, I believe, including adding another number of electives in other areas too.
Those who made the change happen enjoy it the most.
Myself, as a leader, I definitely have grown. I have learned a lot. I have learned from students, staff, just how the building works or what things didn't work. So definitely, it's been a fun year to problem solve. I can go to any staff member and people give me lots of help. So it's been nice.
And they plan on keeping it that way.
I always tell my wife at home, I get to go to work today. I don't have to go to work, I get to go to work.
Every student, teacher, and faculty member staying at HHS can look forward to seeing a different school next year.
Just stay tuned, lots to come.
As for seniors and those who are retiring, you can leave knowing your impact here was the biggest change of all. This has been Max Albertson reporting for The Ekko.
Most of today's seniors began their journey through school in 2010, in kindergarten. They were starting to find their way. By 2010, The Ekko had already been on air for 12 years. During the early years of our show, Michael Campo was an HHS student in broadcast journalism. And since graduation from high school, Michael kept his dreams and goals close to the skills he picked up in producing The Ekko. Our Joseph Borash had a chance recently to chat with Michael. Here's the story.
Movies are what many people consider to be just entertainment. But for a certain previous student of HHS, it is more than that.
I think The Ekko was really foundational in a lot of what I do now. I'm editing almost every day. The first time I really used editing software in a serious way was during The Ekko.
Welcome to The Ekko. It's Thursday, November 1st, 2007. I'm Mike Campo.
It was not just the editing of videos that drove him towards this career path.
The Ekko helped drive my passion in a couple ways. I think one was just Like I said, having my hands on those tools, I think made, because I was always a fan of film and things like that, but I think, getting my hands on it made it real.
Mike's love for film and his time in the Ekko made his passion clear to him.
It's funny, I remember a specific moment, probably about halfway through the semester when I took the Ekko, where I was like, I think I want to do this, like, for real, for my life. And yeah, because I was really interested in music before that, and I still am. I'm still a musician, but there was this moment where I think putting that camera in my hands and putting me in front of the editing programs, like, it just felt right. And I was like, I think this is what I need to move into.
After a few years, Mike has done what many consider to be impossible.
So these days, I'm a film director and screenwriter and, work on all kinds of different projects, a lot of feature films, but also commercials and music videos and, whatever else comes up.
And his biggest project is no small feat.
Probably the most prominent thing I've done is a feature film called Christmas Break-In. That's a holiday comedy that stars Danny Glover and Denise Richards, and I directed that up in Duluth, actually, so that was kind of fun to make a movie in my home state.
Good luck, buddy.
His dreams came true, not by luck, but by his own hard work and dedication.
I think as a high schooler, I was dreaming big, naturally, and looking back, like, there's almost a certain amount of naivete to thinking like, oh, I'm going to be a film director. I'm going to like do all this. But I did it. And I think you find your passion and you work hard at it and you can kind of do a lot.
Uncertainty comes to all high schoolers, even movie directors like Mike. But he didn't let that get in the way of his dream.
I dreamed big, but I didn't know where I was going to end up. I think if you want to go far, you got to start with dreaming big. And I wouldn't be here for this interview if it didn't start with me taking the Ekko 15, 16 years ago. So, thank all you guys.
We hope to see more from this past Ekko star in the near future. I'm reporter Joseph Borash, signing off one final time for the Ekko.
The Ekko has been through all sorts of changes over the years. One constant is its relationship with Hastings Community Television. The HCTV crew has always been happy to help answer questions about editing, explain how to properly use the cameras, and manage the set where we tape the show. In fact, HCTV's connection with the Ekko is extremely tight-knit, with a perfect example of that being its current director was once one of our reporters. Let's take a hike with the Ekko's Serenity Swanson.
A view of then and now. We take a snapshot in time of the person behind it all.
If I'm going around Hastings, if I'm shopping at Walmart, if I'm eating at Taco Bell, a lot of people just yell across the store, "Hey, take a hike, Mike," which is a really cool compliment, but it also kind of sounds like an insult.
Mike Bremer, or as other people would know him as, Take a Hike Mike, shares with us where it all started years ago.
I got my start with video in the Ekko class back in 2004 or 2003 when I took it. It was actually called The Rave. And a lot of people maybe don't know this, but the reason it was no longer called The Rave and moved to the Ekko is some of the parents in this community thought raves were drug parties. And they're like, we don't want our kids or these students in a class called The Rave, which is celebrating drugs and partying and alcohol. So then Mr. Larson kind of went back to the drawing board and came up with the Ekko.
And that's exactly what Larson did, creating a legacy for many others to expand and explore on. The Ekko. Back in the day, the Ekko was able to get a little bit more outside the box.
My favorite thing was anchoring, but one of the things I thought was funny was I brought a puppet that looked like me. So the episode, if I remember right, the way the episode ends is my co-anchor said, "Hey, where's Mike?" And then it's just a puppet of me. So I made the puppet with my mom. We were up until like 2 in the morning the night before making a Mike Bremer puppet. So that was cool.
We asked Mike what steps led him to working in video.
I graduated high school in 2005 and then went to college at River Falls and did a little bit of video there. Was a communications and marketing major. And I called up Hastings TV because I thought it was really cool around here when I was in high school. And they said, yeah, we can take you on as an intern. Long story short, I went from intern to volunteer to part-time to full-time. And when I started working part-time here, I started helping with the class as a technical advisor. So I've actually worked with the class for over 10 years now. So the Ekko, the rave, all of that's had a huge impact on who I am today.
Along with helping with the Ekko, he has a lot on his plate to juggle.
Yeah, so it's all about me being the executive director at Hastings Community TV in the world of video. Like I said, it was a dream job. I never thought when I was in high school here that I would ever end up actually working at the TV station, let alone leading the TV station.
But for Mike, one thing is for sure.
Like I said, without this class, I don't know if I'd be working here at Hastings TV. I don't know if I would be doing anything with video or editing. So just the memories and the skills that I learned as a, 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid back in the day has just been very influential and very important to my career trajectory and my career path. Huge shout out to Mr. Larson and the broadcast journalism class here.
Hiking towards the future, Mike had one last big thing to share with all of us.
Ha! Has there been any big changes in my life recently? I had my first son recently. His name is Monroe John, little baby Monroe. And yeah, that's pretty epic. So without the Ekko, I probably wouldn't have a baby right now. Just kidding, that was a lie.
This has been Serenity Swanson reporting for the Ekko one last time.
Another former student who really developed his passion for TV news while working on the Ekko is Colby Zack. Some of you 12th graders may recognize that name, for Colby was a Hastings senior during the height of the COVID pandemic in 2020 when we were freshmen. Our very own Colin Anderson chatted with Colby the other day to discuss making the Ekko during the quarantine. Here's the story.
A big hello and welcome to the Ekko. I'm Colby Zack.
A familiar face around Hastings has taken his career far past the Ekko of 2020.
When I was first at the Ekko, COVID hit. So we had a little instruction right away with the cameras and other equipment. And then all of a sudden, precautions and everything, we just couldn't use it. David Russell Larson, he was like, we're not abandoning this at all. We're still going to put on the Ekko. And everyone was like, how are we going to do that? We don't have access to the school. We don't have access to cameras. And he's like, there's cameras on your phone. Use your phone. Like, you don't need all this high quality equipment to tell a good story. And he's absolutely right. So we were able to put together these entire broadcasts, these entire episodes, just shooting from phones, coordinating with each other, and we were still able to tell good stories.
Colby's skills learned from the Ekko brought him to new heights as he graduated high school.
This class taught me virtually everything. I was able to know how to shoot B-roll, know how to shoot interviews, know how to get interviews, know how to write scripts, know how to put it all together, know how to build connections.
Though there were some hardships at the start of his career, Colby still pursued his blooming interest in broadcast journalism.
I talked to Mike from HGTV, and I was like, I want to do more. Like, here's some of my work. And he let me work there for the summer right after college, which was amazing. I still got to work close to Hastings, the community, close to the high school, and kind of get a running start going into college.
After working with HCTV, Colby has lots to share about working in his field.
And so now I'm still reporting here at a news station. It's called KOMU. It's in Columbia, Missouri, because I was able to send in some of my work, and they were like, you're able to shoot, report, write, and you're able to be on camera if we need you to. And that was able to get me where I am now.
As Colby has spent some time in his career, he takes some time to reflect on what helped him pursue his career in broadcast journalism.
Like, when you're sitting in a classroom learning, you can only predict so much, and you can only say, like, here's probably what's going to happen, like, here's what we need you to do. But when you're in the field, you never really know what could happen. Breaking news is a big one.
As investigators try to get a shooting suspect to surrender.
Colby Zack is live on scene right now. So Colby, what do you know right now? What can you tell us?
So sometimes, like, I'll be reporting, like, I'll have one story and I'll just be finishing up, and all of a sudden we're listening to the police scanner. You got to go. Like, you have no time. Get your stuff.
At Forest Village Apartments, but when that didn't work, the suspect opened fire.
From taking the Ekko to his professional experiences, Colby has learned that anybody can be a storyteller.
I know the Ekko is ending, but there's still so many different ways that you can tell stories. Our phones now with cameras, we're able to shoot whatever incident happens. So don't be afraid. Like, you see somebody at a basketball game that has a story, go up to them, ask them a few questions, like maybe take a picture, a video of them, and see what they have to say and what is interesting about their life and why there is. Because there's one or two nuggets in every single person's life that's newsworthy and that can tell a story that might not be able to ever be told otherwise.
Now, we've come to the end, and the fact that this is the last show is extremely bittersweet, but I couldn't have asked for a better group to be around.
This has been Colin Anderson reporting for the Ekko.
One last person we want to highlight is someone whose dream of being in front of the camera in TV news has never wavered. Her positive energy radiated through the screen back when she was working on this show, and continues to this very day as she works on another show. Reporter Brady Pockle and videographer Alexander Anderson traveled recently to downtown Minneapolis to meet with her. Here's the scoop.
Today we are here in Minneapolis, here at the WCCO news station. I'm Brady Pockle with the Ekko, and today we'll be meeting a former Ekko student, Katie Steiner. Let's jump right into it, shall we?
And then obviously severe weather. You're talking tornadoes, you're talking thunderstorms, you're talking lots of snow.
WCCO, a major news station, brings us our morning reports for the day. But one person in particular is a meteorologist.
On a day-to-day basis, whatever show we're on, I am responsible for keeping people safe every day from the elements. Every day I'm in charge of telling people what the weather is going to be like. Some days it's a really easy, great day, like, oh, it's going to be sunny and 70 degrees outside. And other days it's like, okay, we've got a rain system in the south, like yesterday. 2 to 4 inches of rain fell. That is a significant amount of rain and could be harmful to people, especially if they don't know at 6 in the morning driving through a flooded street. That could be very problematic.
Katie Steiner, a former Ekko reporter, has followed her path all the way to working at the WCCO news station, reporting weather and making sure people stay safe for the future.
I loved being part of the Ekko. I mean, this is one of the few classes where you're like doing what you want to do for the rest of your life, the entire class.
Even though her job description has changed since she was on the Ekko, she still carries those lessons to the next chapter of her life.
So what I do right now is a little bit different because I do weathers. But when I was reporting, I mean, what we were doing on the Ekko was exactly what we were doing on a day-to-day basis. The only difference was you have a daily newscast as opposed to having a weekly newscast. It's really the key difference, but I mean, so many similarities.
Although she wasn't sure about her path initially.
Well, you know, I always, when I was in middle school, late middle school, my dad told me, you would be a really good like broadcaster. And I was like, whatever, Dad, you don't know what you're talking about. But it wasn't until I got to the Ekko, you know, I was kind of interested in broadcast journalism, thinking, okay, I'm going to take this broadcast journalism class. And when I took that class, that was the starter of everything, because that's where I really fell in love with broadcast journalism.
There was one moment where she knew that this was her calling.
And it was in that studio. I will never forget this. I was in an edit bay doing like a documentary, just kind of for fun. And I was there in the summer. I was there at like 8 a.m. And my mom called me at 6 and she's like, Katie, you need to come home. Like, you need to come home for dinner. This is ridiculous. And I remember thinking like, okay, if I have to be called home after like 8+ hours, this is something that I can do for the rest of my life and that I want to do for the rest of my life. So it was because of the Ekko and through Hastings Community Television that I really knew that, yes, this was my calling and this is what I want to do.
Katie knows that she'll be doing this for a long, long time to come.
I love what I do. I love coming to work every single day. So it's not necessarily hard nor stressful because the love, the enjoyment that you get out of it counterbalances anything.
So whether it be rain or shine, Katie will always be here to tell you the weather.
For me, it was like, yep, this is exactly what I want to do literally for the rest of my life.
Signing off one final time, this is reporter Brady Pockle.
Been working? There we go. Now we're working. Hey everybody, my name is Hunter Pinky and I'm the sports director here at HCTV alongside, I'm also a technical advisor for the Ekko. And as you all know, this is the final episode of the Ekko. We wanted to hijack the broadcast for a moment to interject one more little surprise. As you know, Mr. Larson is retiring at the end of this season and he's shown so much dedication and has put in a lot of hard work to get this show to where it is today. The Ekko has even won awards in the past, and it's nothing short of incredible. So this last surprise is for our favorite teacher, David Russell Larson. So let's kick it over And thank you, Mr. Larson, for all your hard work with the Ekko and the Rave.
Mr. Larson, congratulations on many, many years of success with the Rave, with the Ekko.
As a kid who loved making videos, being a part of the Ekko was an absolute blessing.
It was truly such a fun experience. It helped me build so much confidence, and it was an awesome creative outlet for a lot of fun ideas throughout the entire season.
One of the things I really liked about the Ekko was the fact that it was a group of us kids who were providing and presenting information to our own peers.
I think specifically filming the anchor segments was always my favorite.
I mean, many of the stories we covered were about our friends and our classmates just doing things that they loved.
Even being in to film other people's anchor segments was always a good time because you specifically were always very lighthearted. You always really knew how to make people feel comfortable in front of the camera, which I struggle with even today.
I was an Ekko anchor over a decade ago now, and I still use to this day some of the skills that I learned in your class.
I don't want to revise history and say we had a perfect relationship when I was in high school. I kind of thought that I was hot stuff and so far ahead that I didn't have anything to learn.
I was just a little kid, 15 years old, back in 2004, taking the class.
I vividly remember I was taking my first broadcast class at the University of Missouri, and I was sitting there thinking throughout the entirety of the class, like, I've already learned all of this.
I wouldn't know how to edit video, hold a camera, I'd be holding it upside down.
You know, it taught me a lot about discipline, getting deadlines, getting things done on time, organization.
The only real thing that's changed is instead of taping on DVC tapes and camcorders, I'm taping directly on my phone for TikTok.
And when I was working at Public Access about 10 years later, I got to witness your teaching style again from a different perspective, a non-angsty teenager perspective. You're knowledgeable, you're dedicated, and you keep it fun for the students.
And I don't think there's any better compliment that you can give a teacher is thank you so much for teaching me all the things that I needed to know in my career.
Thank you so much, Mr. Larson, for just being an awesome teacher and an awesome partner as we continue to work on the Ekko after I graduated.
I wouldn't be at Hastings Community TV running the TV station if it were not for you.
I would not have found myself in anything related to journalism after high school, let alone broadcast journalism.
It solidified my pursuit of a career in media.
Right now, I'm actually working in TV. I spend 5 overnights a week in the master control room up at KSTP up in St. Paul.
Such a big part of my life and getting me started on my career, and I'm so thankful to you and to the class.
To think about the influence and positive vibes that you've given your students year after year and how that's transferred from them into the world, it's sort of like ripples in the ocean, or, if you will, an echo.
And while I'm sad to see the Ekko end, I'm so grateful to have been a part of its legacy.
Hey, Mr. Larson, congratulations.
Congratulations on your retirement, Mr. Larson.
Congratulations, David Russell Larson.
Congratulations, Mr. Larson.
Congratulations, Mr. Larson.
Congrats, Mr. Larson.
Congratulations, Mr. Larson.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And congratulations.
Congratulations, Mr. Larson.
And I wish you the best of luck and nothing but happiness in retirement.
Today, we mark a moment of change. The Ekko is ending, the seniors are leaving, and everyone who remains at HHS moves forward. Change is a fundamental part of life, and yes, change can be scary. However, embracing the constant nature of change encourages us to explore new possibilities, discover new passions, and learn new skills. The people we visited in today's show are examples of that. And just as we said our first hello way back in 1999, we now begin our last goodbye. The students in this class who produced this show took on the task of providing you with some information and some humor about the people and events of Hastings High School. I'm Isaac Ebling, speaking for every student who was ever in broadcast journalism. I thank you for your time, your patience, and your support. It has been a privilege and a pleasure to be part of this production that we called The Ekko.
That's a wrap. All right. That was fantastic. Fantastic. Let's go. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. All right, everybody. Okay, come on in. Everybody come in. Isaac, let's sit down. Everybody stand behind him. We'll get a picture. Oh, look, we should use the we should use the everybody for that too. Should we just use that?